In Saturday's video report, at the top of that video, I mentioned a couple of things that you had to be looking out for on Saturday. And of course, one of them in college football, one of the biggest factors when it comes to handicapping games, no matter the week, is the obvious letdown situation. And I pointed out two teams that I thought you had to be a little leery of: Louisiana Tech and Mississippi State. Louisiana Tech coming off that big revenge wire-to-wire win at Houston a week earlier, which I also had noted. Revenge being another one of those factors in college football that you're also looking to isolate. Was in a difficult spot, laying 21 points at home against Rice. And it wasn't that Rice was any good. We know the Owls stink. But Louisiana Tech was being asked to lay 3 touchdowns after a big rivalry revenge win. What happens? Louisiana Tech wins by 19. And I also pointed out that Mississippi State, a team that I'd given you as a free pick 2 Saturdays ago, was in a similar spot after opening up its SEC season with a huge quadruple revenge win against Auburn. Miss State was now being asked to lay 16 and a half points at Troy State. Not that Troy State is any good, but it's just a difficult spot for Mississippi State, I thought. And what happens? Mississippi State wins that game, but only by 6 points. And then I said there were a couple of teams where I thought the jury was still out, that I thought it was ludicrous for Auburn, a team that was already 0-2 this season and 5-10 against the spread since Cam Newton left town, to be laying such a monstrous number, almost 17 points, against UL Monroe. And UL Monroe, of course, a week earlier was celebrating the biggest win in the school's history, perhaps, on the gridiron, with the overtime upset of Arkansas on the road. And I thought that you had two things at stake here. One, Auburn, not that good, and 1-3 ATS as a home double-digit dog a year ago, and UL Monroe perhaps still feeling the after effects of celebrating campus-wide and being the darlings of college football because David slew Goliath a week earlier when they toppled the Razorbacks. What happened? Well, Auburn needed overtime to nip UL Monroe yesterday. And the other team that I thought the jury was still out was on Stanford and USC in their battle here at the Farm last night. USC jumps out to the early 7-0 lead. I'll tell you what, guys, if you watch that game, that Stanford defense really played a great game. Totally bottled up Southern Cal's ground game. Totally put pressure on Matt Barkley nonstop in that contest. And the USC defense, just like a year ago. Maybe it's time for Lance Kiffin to fire his father, because that cover 2 defense they used to run with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Derek Brooks ain't around wearing a Trojan uniform, because they could not stop the Stanford ground attack in there. And yet, I'm telling you, I'm still not sure Stanford is that good. I mean, this is a team that barely beat San Jose State at home by 3 points in its opener after walloping Duke in week number 2. And for USC, you know, I look at that game, and even though all the things went wrong for them last night, I think that you could play that game 10 times over this season. 5-5 would be the result. But definitely, Stanford has USC's number. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Sunday video report. As you know, the Countdown to Kickoff program is here online, as it is from Friday night going forward, where Steve Budin and I look at all your games and give our various opinions here on the contests. But I still do a Sunday video report most weeks because I want to focus in on the one free pick that I like the most, or multiple free picks, as was the case last Sunday when I hit 2 out of 3, giving you winners on the biggest favorites on the board, in fact. Both double-digit chalks, the Bears and the Texans, coming in as winners versus the spread. Now, yesterday in college football, I went 1-1-1 with the free picks. I lost with Tennessee. My God, did the Volunteers get dominated in the final half against Florida in Knoxville. No Rocky Top singing in Knoxville after that game. Gave you a winner on Louisville in revenge against North Carolina. I gave you a push with Maryland losing by 3, getting 3 at home to Connecticut. Now, today, the free pick is going to be a teaser, and I'll get to that in just a moment. And if you're watching this video report, the game hasn't started yet. Plus, I've got a money-saving discount coupon code that'll save you $20 off a single purchase today. And I want to talk about fantasy football, how you've got a chance to win $300 of my money by playing fantasy football today in conjunction with DraftStreak.com. You see the ads all over the site. And all that and more coming up in a moment. But first, let's talk about some hot handicappers. Shawn Michaels, today, NFL winner number 17 out of 23 overall the past 3 years. 100-dime NFL winner number 19 out of 23. Let me repeat that. 100-dime NFL winner number 19 out of 23. And teaser winner number 22 out of 30 as well. I know those are a lot of winning streaks. I know those are a lot of numbers, but aren't you grateful they're all positive numbers? He's on an 18-4 run with 100-dime releases in the NFL over the past 4 years. Hit 3 out of 4 in the preseason, then opened last Sunday with his opening teaser of the year winner on the Bears and the Lions. And today, he's got another teaser winner, number 22 out of 30, another 100-dime winner in the NFL, number 19 out of 23, and his NFL winner, number 17 out of 23 overall. $10 bettors have won $9,525. Following Sean's advice in football the past 3 years, since the beginning of August, he has had 14 plays, baseball and football combined. $10 bettors have already won $4,000 following those 14 plays since the beginning of August. Bob Valentino yesterday made it 3 straight 50-dime winners. He was on the right side of the Florida-Tennessee game after cashing in with 2 NFL 50-dimers, Green Bay on Thursday night over Chicago, and the Buccaneers outright as a 3-point home dog over Carolina last Sunday. Today he's upping the ante, one and only 75-dime NFL Dog of the Year, even more powerful in those 3 straight 50-dime plays he's cashed in. How about Matt Rivers? 400,000 star plays. Guys, those have been his go-to plays this year. They are the second biggest plays of his career. And today he's got 400,000 star winner number 21 out of 30 overall and 10 of the last 14. It's on New Orleans and Carolina. Just as big as his 400,000 star winner on the Packers on Thursday night, just as big as his 400,000 star winner on Northwestern yesterday against Boston College. Jeff Benton, congratulations to him, back on another roll. 50-dime winner number 4 in a row going today, Dallas and Seattle. 50-dime winner on the Packers on Thursday night. 50-dime winner on Texas. 66-31 over Mississippi yesterday. Craig Davis did lose yesterday with BYU. But he's back with his bread and butter play today. 50-dime winner number 14 out of 18 and 18 out of 24 overall. It's a 2-team teaser on Oakland, Miami, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. He is 4-1 with 50-dimers so far in football this season, college and pro combined, including a perfect 2-0 with NFL 50-dimers. Cowboys over the Giants on opening night, and Chicago Green Bay under the total on Thursday. And of course, in the NFL, a $10 bettor has won $6,585 following Craig's betting advice since last season. Another hot handicapper, Chuck O'Brien. Did he lose the charity play of the week on Friday? Yes, unfortunately, he did. But we're talking football today. We're talking to NFL, and he's got 50-dime NFL winner number 5 out of 7. He says it's a double-digit blowout, twice as strong as his 25-dime college football winner yesterday on Minnesota over Western Michigan. 2.5 times stronger than Thursday night's 20-dime teaser winner on the Packers and the under. So those are among the handicappers that are red hot. Now let's talk about the guys that are not, that lost big plays yesterday. You know, I always pointed out, to be fair, fair and honest, impartial. Yeah, right. Not me. I'm talking about that news organization. Fair and impartial. Yeah. Slanted. All their news. Slanted. I don't know. What can I tell you? But a lot of people love it. Chris Jordan, yesterday, had a 1,000 star play. That was kind of a loser. He said Ohio State would win by 5 touchdowns. They were lucky to win by 5 points, as they came nowhere close to covering in that contest against California. And Anthony Redd, 0-3 with his 30-dime trifecta yesterday. Virginia, Arizona State, and Colorado all going down in flames. So there's the good and the bad. As for me, I lost my 5-dime play just like Craig Davis did. We were both on BYU. Wacky ending to that game. Wacky ending. BYU lines up for a potential overtime forcing field goal. You know, there's a huge celebration on the field when they miss it. Of course, then the refs, I think it was, they called a... I didn't get to see it. I can only read about it. I didn't have access to it on TV. Then there was a penalty. So they got a re-kick. And, of course, because of the celebration on the field, they moved it 15 yards further. That one's no good. and they lose the Holy War against Utah by 3, laying 3. So much for Utah losing their starting quarterback and going against the Utes yesterday. Let's get to your money-saving discount coupon code, guys. You can save $20 off a single purchase today simply by entering this coupon code week 2, W-E-E-K, and the number 2, week 2, because it's the second week of the NFL season, week 2, W-E-E-K, and the number 2. Enter that when prompted in your shopping cart, and you will save $20 off a single purchase today at the site. Remember, fantasy football fans, this isn't fantasy football like the old days where you had to wait till the end of the season to collect your money. Every single week here in conjunction with DraftStreak.com, I'm running a free fantasy football contest. Free meaning it's free for you to enter every single week. And $300 of my money is at stake. And the top 15 finish in the money on a weekly basis. Takes just 5 minutes or so to draft your team. If you're good at it, maybe it takes you 10 if you're not. But hell, it's free, so what do you have to lose? Click on the ad here. You have a mythical $100,000 salary cap. You've got to draft players. Like I finished 8th in the league last week. My big player, my big expenditure was Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons. He would cost me like $15,500 for buying him. You have $100,000. You got to buy a couple quarterbacks, a couple wide receivers, a tight end, a couple running backs, etc. You put together your team quickly. You're entered into the contest for free. Top 15 finish in the money. And again, it's my money at stake. DraftStreak.com. Click on the ads, guys. You can't miss it. And have some fun. It's legal. It's gambling. It's fantasy football. And the weekly league is determined after the Monday night game. I can't give you any more better news than that. Let's talk about today's free pick. You know, when I handicap games, I break down games, obviously from a point spread perspective. Which side do I like, the favorite or the underdog? But then I go back on the card and I look at every single game and I go, well, what's a potential teaser entry? Shawn Michaels today, I told you about that incredible run he has with teasers. Shawn and I have talked about it many times over the years. You know, teasers, and he steals my line. He steals my line. If you go to his website, you'll see he steals my line. And Shawn, that's my knock at you. Teasers are not sucker plays. You know, parlays are sucker plays, I think, especially if their best bet on the board is a parlay, but teasers aren't. I mean, there are certain numbers in situations where you're looking to tease a team down. I think one of the best opportunities is to take a look. Personally, I think one of the best is to take a look at favorites of 9 points or less and put them in a teaser. And if they happen to be playing at home, that's even better. And I say 9 points or less because then you're looking at a field goal, worst case scenario, standard 2-team teaser. You've got 6 points to manipulate the line. So today, my best free pick on the board would be a 2-team teaser involving Cincinnati at home against the Cleveland Browns and San Francisco at home against Detroit. Because, you know, I've got 2 teams that are both 7-point favorites. So naturally, I'm going to take them both down to a 1-point favorite in their respective games. And then I ask you rhetorically this question that I asked myself rhetorically. Will either one of these teams lose at home? I don't think so. So that's your teaser. I mean, it really is that simple. Cincinnati played well for about a half and hung with Baltimore on Monday night. But listen, then the Bengals, you know, got demolished in the second half. Well, Joe Flacco and Ray Lewis and Ray Rice, they moved on to Philadelphia, guys. Cleveland Browns are coming in. I know this is the Battle of Ohio and it might be a tough game because the Browns actually have a decent defense. But their quarterback, Brandon Weeden, 4 interceptions last week against Philadelphia, a couple of picks, a quarterback passer rating of 5 in that contest. Trent Richardson couldn't do anything on the ground. I mean, Cincinnati's offense will be able to put points on the board with Dalton and their fine receiving crew against the Browns. And again, all I need is Cincinnati to win that game outright. San Francisco goes into Green Bay, the same Packers that kicked Chicago's ass on Thursday night, goes into Green Bay last week and absolutely dominates. I mean, they were up 23-7 after 3 quarters in that game at Green Bay. Why not go with San Francisco today against Detroit? Last year, San Francisco went to Detroit. You remember the infamous handshake game, right, between Jim Schwartz and Jim Harbaugh. Went into Detroit last year and won that game outright. As a 4-point dog, 25-19. So now you have a San Francisco team coming back at home. A San Francisco team that was 8-1-1 against the spread last year at home. A Detroit team that has failed to cover 5 straight games at the end of the last season on the road. A Detroit team that needed a miracle comeback with a Matt Stafford touchdown pass with like 5 seconds to go to beat St. Louis at home last week. As I noted on the Countdown to Kickoff show, do not be surprised if they accidentally get the field at Candlestick a little wet, the natural turf, to slow down the speed advantage that Detroit's receivers have. Again, and I ask you, will San Francisco lose this game at home? I don't think so. So San Francisco -1 and Cincinnati -1 in the two-team teaser. That's what I would play as my top free pick today. San Francisco and Detroit in that teaser. I'm sorry. San Francisco and Cincinnati in that two-team teaser. That's how I would play it. Good luck, everybody, and I will catch you again on Monday.